Mbappe Real Madrid transfer, what it means for Vinicius Jr, Bellingham and Rodrygo. This is one of those good problems to have. Kylian Mbappe's transfer to Real Madrid is done and dusted, at long last. Now they have to fit him into a squad that has just won La Liga, the Champions League. Is reported by The Athletic. Madrid's coaching staff have known about his arrival since February. As you might expect, the view among Carlo Ancelotti's team was that Mbappe simply had to be signed, but that still leaves them with some tough decisions to make, decisions that will perhaps upset what seems to be a perfect balance, especially in attack. Ancelotti's favored setup this term has had room for just to recognize forwards, as well as the box-crashing Jude Bellingham, and Mbappe isn't the only striker coming in. Madrid will also have Brazilian wonderkid Endrick to count on. He will join up with the squad after the Copa America, by which point he will have turned 18. Then there's also Joselu, Arda Güler and Brahim Diaz to consider. So what does the future hold for Madrid's attacking players? And how might Ancelotti rebalance his winning formula? Jude Bellingham was given a more offensive role than most anticipated after joining from Borussia Dortmund last summer. He took to this brilliantly, carrying the team over the first half of the season and ending the campaign as their second top scorer with 23 goals. Vinicius Jr scored 24 in all competitions. "I think I'm at my best when I have freedom on the pitch," Bellingham said last week. "When I play as a number 10, I have the freedom to kind of go everywhere, which means I can go deeper, I can create, and I can go higher." That new freedom under Ancelotti also gave him license to make this kind of run between the forwards. We most often saw that when Madrid played their hybrid 4-4 system. It featured a box midfield when the team was out of possession, with Bellingham given the liberty to attack when they had the ball. If Ancelotti continues with that, Mbappe would come in for Rodrygo to partner Vinicius Jr up front, with Bellingham's role unlikely to change too much. "The closer we get him to goal, the better for us," Carlo Ancelotti said of the Englishman after the final La Liga game of the season, at home to Real Betis. But when Ancelotti fields all three of Mbappe, Vinicius Jr and Rodrygo, the expectation would be for Bellingham's role to evolve back towards something like his old position at Dortmund, closer to central midfield. He might end up losing some of that freedom when Ancelotti feels the need to increase his defensive duties, but there could be an opportunity to develop his passing range and playmaking skills from deep given the retiring Toni Kroos will no longer play the organizer role in midfield. Vinicius Jr. This has been Vinicius Jr.'s highest scoring season at Madrid. With 24 goals from 39 games, he played 17 fewer matches this term after suffering the first two muscular injuries of his career early in the campaign. On the surface at least, Madrid's top scorer might look like the most under threat by Mbappe's arrival, as both have tended to favor the left side of the attack. However, Vinicius Jr. has at times been redeployed more centrally this term, and to great effect. And so has Mbappe at Paris Saint-Germain. "At first, I wasn't convinced, but now I'm very happy to be able to play there," Vinicius Jr. said last week. Ancelotti always told me that I was going to score more goals. I didn't believe him, and in the end, things have worked out well. Now it's a bit more difficult for him to play on the left, Ancelotti joked in a recent interview on Spanish TV station La Sexta. There shouldn't be too many worries about Vinicius Jr.'s minutes next term. As we've already seen, if the hybrid 4-4 setup continues, he and Mbappe could play together up top, with Rodrygo dropping to the bench. He is in the form of his life, Ballon d'Or form. If Ancelotti were to favor three strikers, Vinicius Jr. could play on his favored left flank or down the middle. He has very seldom appeared on the right flank, and has not since 2021. Rodrygo has shown the most flexibility of Ancelotti's forwards, playing on both flanks and centrally, but he does look like the most likely to miss out when only two attackers are required. Rodrygo ended the season with 17 goals from 51 appearances in all competitions, Madrid's joint third highest scorer of the campaign. His highlight came in the Champions League semi-final against Manchester City. Across both legs he played off the left, scoring 2 goals across the tie and often helping unbalance Pep Guardiola's defense. But even before Mbappe's arrival was confirmed, Rodrygo's future at Madrid became a big talking point. In interviews last week, he left the door open to leaving Madrid. He later claimed his words were taken out of context when posting a social media clarification that reaffirmed his commitment to the club. Rodrygo is widely considered the player likely to be the main casualty of Mbappe's signing, something that is not easy to accept for a player who has become a regular starter at Madrid. Only Federico Valverde and Antonio Rudiger have played more than his 3,706 minutes this season, but it has been a tough campaign for Rodrygo. He has played in several positions and has struggled for consistency. He was frank about his problems with playing as a number 9 in Ancelotti's hybrid 4-4-2 in an interview with radio station Cope in November. "With my characteristics, it doesn't suit me very well," he said. "I like to touch the ball a lot and I can't play as much as a number 9. It is unlikely Rodrygo would be given to many minutes playing as a central striker next term ahead of Vinicius Jr and Mbappe, who have both shown they can play there." Joselu is also expected to stay at Madrid next season, as the club have decided to take up the option to make his loan from Espanyol permanent for around €1.5 million, £1.3 million, $1.6 meters. However, should Ancelotti choose to play with 3 forwards, it would make sense for Rodrygo to continue on the right flank. Perhaps the most telling line from Rodrygo's media rounds last week was this: "From the moment I see that I'm no longer important, maybe it's time to look for another place. But I think that's not what's happening at the moment, nor am I thinking about it for the moment." His camp insists he wants to be part of the great project plan for next season and he is under contract until 2028. But during Florentino Perez's presidency, Madrid have often shown ruthlessness in selling players who are seen as dispensable, whether they like it or not, with Angel Di Maria 2014 and Mesut Ozil 2013 among those who were persuaded to accept exits when big offers came in from Premier League clubs. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Now, tell me what Real Madrid's lineup might look like next year with the addition of Kylian Mbappe, and if you were in Rodrygo's shoes, facing tough competition for minutes, what would you do? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.